Welcome to Knife Thoughts. This video is going to be an unboxing, and as you can see, this is another knife from Jack Wolf Knives. So this is one that I'm really excited about. I know I say that for pretty much all of these knives from Jack Wolf Knives, but this one in particular because it is the new release, the new version of their Barlow pattern, which is the Midnight Jack. And I have a special affinity for Barlows. I really enjoy them. They are really what brought me into, or I guess back into, enjoying traditional pocket knives. And I really love the original version of the Midnight Jack. So this is mine here in a natural canvas micarta. It's a knife I've used a good bit, carried a lot. I really like it. I like that it is a coffin handled Barlow. So I have a full review on this knife that goes into kind of what it is exactly, and I'm going to focus more on just unboxing this new version and seeing how I like it in this video. They also did a modern flipper kind of version of this same pattern. This is the After Hours Jack. I really like this one also. So adding to the Barlow team for Jack Wolf Knives. But I'm going to use the original Midnight Jack to open this up, and this slices so well. Really nicely done. Hollow grind. This one is from when they were using, if you can see it, M390 steel, and now they're using S90V. So I keep talking about doing a comparison between those two steels, because Jack Wolf Knives has done the same knife, you know, probably using the same dimensions and such for the grind, but in two different steels. And so it would be interesting with such a, you know, like similar knife, I mean basically the same knife just in a different steel, it would be interesting to do a test between M390 and S90V. I'm not a tester, like I just use my knives the way I use them, but it's something I've been considering, so I don't know. Let me know if you think that you would like that. But as usual, fitting snugly in the box here. If you haven't read this write-up yet, then you should pause the video and read it now. Great write-up on, you know, the inspiration behind Jack Wolf Knives. I also have my Jack Wolf Knives shirt on. My son, when I wear this shirt, points to it and says dog. And as you can see, I have the Fat Carbon White Storm version. So this is a cool kind of black and white. I like black and white together. A lot of my clothes and like my logo and all that kind of stuff are black and white. I like color too, though. It's kind of funny. I like black and white, or I like really bright colors. And they have a version of this that they're coming out with that is the first time they're using this chaotic resin. It's not a material I had really heard of. I think it's kind of just someone's particular application of resin mixing, but it looks super cool. It's a very, you know, classic bright pink, kind of pastel pink, pastel blue, white and black color combination that I love. You know, I kind of go black and white or those type, you know, pastel colors. So I might have to get one of those also, but I'm excited to check this out. I haven't had any of this black and white Fat Carbon, so I'm interested to see that. And here is the new art. Really cool. Got kind of his night dress on, Jack Wolf himself. Cool cane there, carved cane, and kind of like a, I don't know, it's a particular style of art. I'm sure I should know what those flowers are. Are they? They're not poppies. No, I don't think. Anyway, some cool skeletons in there too. So I like that a lot. And here is the POG. So you get a POG for that 90s, maybe 80s nostalgia. You know, I was born in 1994, so I only got about half of, well, that I was aware of, probably less than half of the 90s. But you know, a lot of it influenced me and stuff. So my brothers actually had POGs, and I remember like kind of discovering them and thinking that they were cool. So it's cool to get that along with these knives. Then I'm gonna take the knife out to show you the other stuff here. If you haven't seen this yet, you know, all the good stuff that's in a Jack Wolf knife. If you have, you know, you can be reminded, I guess. But the knife comes in a nice, very, very, very bright green microfiber cloth wrapped in it, kind of, you know, like wrapped in wax paper, some other companies that use tubes. But honestly, these tubes are nicer. They are made of metal. And also something I just noticed, I probably should have noticed this previously, I'm sure it's not something new, but it actually says the handle material and the date, so that you know like which run it was from, on the bottom of this tube, which I have a good number of the boxes of these. I've kept everything, and if I could just keep the tubes, that might save a lot of space. So I'll have to check and see if all of them have that, so that, you know, I can kind of ditch all the boxes. But anyway, also I should know this, and I don't off the top of my head, but I'm thinking that this might be a new artist. So I don't know if this is going to focus, but it's art by JGONZOART, so J Gonzo Art on Instagram. And I don't recall, I don't think that that's the same artist that has done the other. I'm pretty sure it's not. So that's interesting. Maybe that is why there's a little bit of a different style. Almost 7 minutes into this, I'm sure somebody's going to comment and say, oh, I just opened the knife. But this is what an unboxing's for. I'm enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it. Another nice upgrade that they made is that they include 2 stickers now. And so I think, you know, with a higher end knife like this, part of it is that you probably, you know, have a collection feel to it, even if you are using them and stuff. You know, having things that you can save, like the tube and the box and the stickers and such, is a nice touch. But I also like to use my stickers. So for a while, you know, there was one sticker, I would use them, I put them on my safe, or, you know, before I had the safe, other places, water bottles and stuff. But now there's 2 stickers, so you get to keep one and use the other. At least that's what I do. But here is the sticker art. Very cool. Like, what is this? Like, maybe kind of Celtic? But then the flowers don't remind me of Celtic. So I'm trying to figure out what I think this art style is. And then, as usual, you also get a nice slip. I have said several times in my videos that that these slips really are what like won me over to carrying knives in a slip. I do often use slips now for my GECs and other knives like that, and you know, having all these is a big part of what made me start using them. I noticed, or I saw on the Jack Wolf knives, I always forget if it's worldwide or international. I think it's worldwide. I'm pretty sure it's worldwide. But anyway, the Jack Wolf Knives Facebook group, I'll put a link in the description. It's a great group. I really like it. Someone mentioned that they wished that the embossing on this was smaller, or not smaller, deeper. And I don't know that this is the case. I actually didn't put the original version of the Midnight Jack in a slip before making this video, but it almost seems a little deeper. So I kind of doubt they could have implemented that change between when I saw that post and when these came out, but I don't know, maybe they were implementing it already before someone suggested it. And 9 minutes in, let's open this knife. So again, this is the White Storm fat carbon, and it's really interesting. I didn't realize there's a blue element to this, so it's very much like a snowstorm look. So it's layers of black, a dark, like a navy blue, and a white, and it's very cool, very different. It'll be interesting, you know, us EDC and knife enthusiast people try to match. There's something about this knife that I really like that has not been the case on any Jack Wolf knives so far, except for the modern ones, I don't think. So I'm gonna have to get to that in a second. But you know, us EDC people, try to like make matching carries. And so it'll be interesting to see how I can make a nice matching carry with white, blue, and black. But everything looks fit great. I don't see any gaps on the covers on this one. Very nicely fit. No gaps on the back spring. Flush, 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 and beautiful action. I want to see how that compares to the original. Might not be something completely new, but it definitely is very different. So we'll talk about the finish in a second. So it's weird. I think that the pull is a tad stronger on the new version. A tad stronger, but about the same snappiness. So let you hear that again. Yeah, a tad stronger for sure, but about the same snappiness. Very easy to pinch. Let's take a look and see if there's any difference in the blade shape. No, I think the blade shapes are pretty much exactly the same, except the emphasized sharpening choil. Got to get those big sharpening choils in there. I actually kind of like how that big sharpening choil looks on this one too. Boy, the edge is quite a bit. It's a wider edge grind. It's interesting. They look like similarly ground. Let me see if I can get this to even barely make any sense for you. So the grinds, you know, just from eyeballing them, look similar. But the edge is taller. So like the secondary bevel is taller on the new version. It'll be interesting to see if it's like a very thin edge or if just it's a little thicker behind the edge and I'm just not seeing it. It looks really similar. I mean, maybe slightly thicker behind the edge, but nothing major at all. So a change that I noticed in the pictures, which I think is a great change. Really the only thing after a long time carrying using it, like since my original full review, that I don't love about this knife is the hard corners, the hard you know, edges, corners on the butt of the knife. Just almost caught myself, so good thing I didn't. But that, when you carry this in your back pocket, particularly without the slip, especially without the slip, more so without the slip, but even a little bit with the slip, it's a little, you know, sharp. You know, I carry my slip joints, or actually I did for a long time, in my back pocket. I don't as much anymore. I carry in my front pocket more, and it's way less of an issue there. But in your back pocket, if you're sitting on it, those hard corners do make it a little uncomfortable at times. I drive a lot and stuff. These are beveled, and that's going to make a huge difference. I think that is a really, really smart change to have made. For sure, this is going to feel already. So you can see, let me show you. So you can see the difference there. A big difference in the sharpness of those corners. That's going to make a big difference in how this knife carries. It also is cool on this particular type of handle because it makes you see those lines really well. I don't know how well you can see that. Again, the camera's not focusing, but I like that. That is a good change. And so the next thing that I was talking about that I've mentioned I was going to talk about for a while in this video here is there's a different finish on the blade. And I think that I had seen that there was a new finish being used, but I'm not 100% sure of that, so I want to check, and you know, I'll clarify in my full review on this knife. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel, click the bell, and select all so you know when I post that full review. But for sure, this is a different finish than most Jack Wolf knives have been. So they've done a machine satin, basically belt satin. I guess it's belt satin, which is what I would call this. So you can see those vertical lines there from the belt. I really like the belt satin. And then they've done a hand sanded finish, I have the laid back jack V2 in that. I like it too. I don't know that I like it more. I like that belt satin actually quite a bit. And then they've actually done some that were coated. I don't know that they've done I don't know if it's stone washed or bead blasted. I should know, should know off the top of my head, but I don't. So I'll check on it and make sure you watch the full review. But if you look at that blade, it has a different finish. Let's see if I can get it closer. And I like, a stone wash or bead blast finish as much as the next guy, for sure. But one thing that I actually do like about that is that it has softened the edges on the spine somewhat. And I think that it's the right call, there's a hair in it there, to have done it just on the blade. This back spring is not that. If they had done it on the back spring, it would mess with the perfect fitment that these normally have. But being that it's on the blade, it kind of takes the edge off of the spine. Now, I don't know that the Midnight Jack is the sharpest of the Jack Wolf knives that I have, but some of them, the corner where the top of the spine meets with the main bevel can be pretty sharp. Now, it's not going to cut you, it's not going to hurt you. It's just one of those things that I don't know that I prefer it. It's not something that you see on GEC knives. It does give that really crisp fit and finish feel that Jack Wolf knives are known for, but I don't know that this stone wash doesn't. It will be interesting to see what people think of this, because I do know that some people see a stone wash finish as less, fine, less fancy, however you want to say it. I don't think I hold that opinion, but it'll be interesting to see what people think of that. I like how it feels on the spine, and I don't think that it's going to make pinching the knife any more difficult at all. So I do really like that. I feel like it's just that this is older, and I wonder if it's not a little darker of a finish of a blast or whatever on the titanium too. I'm probably imagining that, but I don't know. Anyway, very cool knife. Gonna put this one in my pocket. It's a big day for Barlow's here at Knife Thoughts. I can't really talk too much about what I'm doing until it's all done, but I've got an exciting day for Barlow's, so I was really excited to get this knife. I'm gonna put it right in my pocket, this Midnight Jack version 2 here, the 2024 version. So these will be coming out next Friday, this coming Friday, so that is the 16th, and they'll come out at the dealers. We'll put the link to the dealers in the description. I suggest knife ship free or traditional pocket knives, just people I've worked with, but there's lots of great dealers. So thank you, as always, to Ben for sending this knife. I really appreciate it. Like I say, I have a special affinity for Barlow's, and so this one is one I was really excited for. Ben and Donnie and everyone there at Jack Wolf Knives. It looks like a shout out. Oh, the packing slip the last couple times said someone's name, and I was going to thank them, but this one doesn't. So anyway, thank you to everyone at Jack Wolf Knives. Looking forward to carrying, using, and posting about this one, so make sure you check out my Instagram and Facebook. Check out my website, knifethoughts.com, where I post articles on knives like this and knife-related topics. And last but not least, as always, don't forget to go out and do good.